Hello everyone, welcome to this series of lectures on database systems. In this video, we will be discussing how actually we can run Oracle database. So there are many possible ways of running Oracle database, and one of the possibilities is to use Oracle's live facility, that is LiveSQL. So this is the cloud-based service provided by the Oracle Corporation, and this is actually the free service. So this free service can be accessed at this website, or say the URL. So since this is a free service, so there are some limitations with this service. So actually, whenever we create any database objects there, so these all are removed, so nothing remains there on the database. So everything is removed once we just log off the service. So whenever our session is destroyed, or whenever our session ends, everything that we create is removed. So however, Oracle also provides the service, and that is we can actually save the commands, we can actually save the session. So whichever commands we type in our session, we can save this session, and this is saved as actually the script. And whenever we log in again in the system, we can use the same script to create the same structures that we created previously. So in summary, we can say that although we cannot permanently store our table and the data in the tables, but however it is possible to save the scripts and then run the scripts again. We will see actually this facility is very handy, especially when it is free. So we can actually run this service on by going to this URL. So when we come at this link, so when we go to this URL, we see this screen, and this is actually the facility where we can run Oracle instance. So we just click on the start coding now, and this brings us at the login screen. So first, to use the utility, we need to log in into the Oracle account. So you can actually create the account if you don't have any. So you just need to go to the create account, and then this will bring up a form which requires some basic data that you can fill. So you need to fill this form, like your email address, your passwords, and then other information. Once you fill the information, you just click on the create button. So when you click on the create account button, actually this sends an email to your email address that you have provided, and this email contains the link to actually activate your email address for this account, and then your account is all ready to use the service. It is also possible that you don't receive the email, so be patient, it will come soon. So at least wait half an hour or 1 hour to receive the email. If you don't receive the email, you just can request the email again. But the email will come ultimately, and you can activate the account. So once you have activated the account, you can just log into the service like here. So once you sign in, you see this home screen. You might see this screen, or if you don't see the side buttons, you can also see here by clicking at this link. So this is actually your work area where you will be working. So worksheet is something that enables you to enter the SQL statements and actually run the SQL statements. So this is the area where you will be writing your statements, and this is the button, run button actually. that will be used to run your commands. So to understand this, you see this is the my session, and this shows you your current session. Since this is first time we have logged in, and we haven't entered any statement, so this is empty. So to understand this, there is also a schema. So schema is actually the environments, you can say, or the databases, you can say. So there are multiple schemas already there. So my schema is something that is for you, and there are also other schemas available that you can use for your practices. So say for example, there is this schema called EMP and DPT, and we see that in this schema we have two database objects here. One is the table, and the other is also table, department table and EMP table. We can use this schema to practice with the database. So we have other databases here also, like we have a human resource database called HR, and then we have many database objects here, like we have the procedure, we have the sequence database, we have the view database object, we have the table, actually many tables objects, we have several procedure objects and sequence objects. So there are many objects here. But here you have the my schema, and this is the schema for you. So whatever you create in this schema remains there until your session is live. When you say, for example, sign out from here, everything will be deleted. However, it is possible to save, and we will see how to save it. So there are also some other links like quick SQL. So from this quick SQL, you actually can build your SQL statements quickly. And then there is my scripts that you have saved. So for example, I have this test session saved, so I can use this. So these are the scripts, and we will come here again. And then there is my tutorials. So there are some tutorials that you can search and you can use. And more importantly, finally, we have here a code library that you see. And this code library is something you can say these are the public scripts shared by others that you can use. For example, there is an introduction to SQL script that you can use. Let's just click on this script, and then this will open the script. So you see there is many things like here. So you can use this script. So you just run the tutorial, and then it will run, and you can actually learn something from here. So there are many things in the code library. You can also search the code, and you can also browse the things here. So let's go to our schemas, and then we will select my schema, and then you see there is a button here, the create database object. Here you can click here to create database objects, and then you have the option of creating any database object you want. For example, you can create the table, you can create the view. What is view we will discuss. You can create the sequence object, you can create the index, triggers, anything else. So for example, if you click on the table, you can actually create the table. So this is the something you specify the column name, you specify the column data type, you can specify the length, and you can specify whether the column can be null or should not be null, whether it is a primary key column, and whether it is unique or not. So actually visually you can create the table, and then this will generate the SQL command that you can run to create the table. But I would recommend not to use this tool. You are advised to use to learn the create table command, for example, to create the tables. So currently there is no table, so we can just go to the SQL worksheet to run our SQL commands. So this is the SQL worksheet. Here we can write our commands and run them. For example, we can write create table command here. So I'm very lazy, I will just paste the code here. For example, this is something that we already saw in the previous videos. So this is used to create the employee table. So I will just write the code here and then go to the run button and I will run this script. When I'm running this script, it will say that if the command has successfully executed, this says that table has been created. And we can actually verify this from going to my schema. Previously there was nothing, but now there is an employee table here, and we can see that this table has been created here. So let's go to our worksheet example again. So we can also see the table description. So DESC RIBE described command, you can write in short as DESC and the name of the table like employee, and this will actually show the table details. So we just select this command because we want to run this command. We already ran the previous command. When we run this command, it shows us this table structure for the employee table, and then we can see that the table employee has these columns, for example EMP ID, and whether it can be null or not. So it says that it should not be null, and the type of the data is char and 4. So 4 is number of characters, and this is char data type. And then we have this varchar 2 data type for the first name. Note that we used varchar, but Oracle says it has the data type varchar 2. Also see that for the salary we specified numeric. We can see here for the salary column we specified numeric, but ultimately the Oracle has the database number instead of numeric. So actually this is the same, and this has the 7 as a precision and 2 as the scale, and there is a gender column of character data type with character length of 1. We can also see more details about the table in going into the schema. So we go to the schema, and then we can click on the table object here. We have the employee table, and then it brings us some details about the employee table. So we see that the name of the table is employee, it is valid, it has some details like the details for the column. So we have the employee column, the data type is char, its length is 4, whether it should be nullable or yes or no. So it says no, so it is not nullable. It is actually not null. Actually all the columns cannot be null, so it says no for all the columns. And then we have this first name column with data type varchar 2, and this length is 100. And also see that we have the salary column, its data type is number, its length is 22, and its precision is 7, its scale is 2 as we specified. And then we have some more details for this. We have the indexes for this one, and this index is employee PK is the name of the index, and it is on the column EMP ID. So what is index we will discuss later. There is a trigger, so we don't have any trigger here. And then there is a list of constraints on the table. So these are the constraints. Note that we have the constraint, and this is the name of the constraint that was specified by the database system, because we did not specify any name for this constraint. And the type of the constraint is check constraint. It is actually the domain constraint, and it says that the first name is not null. So as we specified in the command, a first name should not be null. So this is the constraint that has been created, and the status of this constraint is enabled. And then we have other constraints, all are the not null constraint. And then we have this domain constraint also for the gender column. it says that its value should be in F or M. And then we have the primary key constant. Note that the name of the primary key constant is the one that we actually specified as employee PK. All these other names for the other constants have been provided by the system itself because we did not provide any name. So the good practice is to use your own names, because then you can understand whenever a constraint is violated, you can easily understand what is happening. So we go to the worksheet again to practice say for example alter commands. So here I will just paste another command to alter the table. So we want to alter the table, employee table, and we want to modify the salary column, and we want to set the default to null instead of 10,000, which is the default set here. So when we run this query, it should actually say that the table structure has been modified, and as we can see, it says then the table has been altered. Similarly, we can run another command like we can run alter table employee modify gender default F. So we want to change the default value from M, like here it is the M, and now we want to set it default to F. So we can run this command. We just select this command and we go to the run button, run this command. After this, it says that the table has been altered, and then this action has been actually applied. We can also drop or remove an existing column. So first of all, I want to describe the table, see what is actually happening, what exists before the drop, and then we can write alter table employee, and we want to drop column gender, and then we want to describe the table again to see what has happened. Now we are running these 3 SQL statements, so we have selected 3 of them and we want to run them. Sorry, we want to create the table first, and now we want to run these 3 commands. Now see, the first command says that we have these columns here, and then the third command says that the table has been altered. Second command says that the table has been altered, and then the third command shows that we actually don't have any gender column because we just dropped it from this column. And it is also possible to drop the table itself at all. Now once we run this drop table command, the table itself is deleted. So after this table, if we want to run the describe employee command, it will say that this actually does not exist. So first of all, we want to describe the employee table so that it will show, and after the drop table, this describe employee command says that the object does not exist. So you see, first describe command shows the structure of the employee table, and then the second command says that the table has been dropped, and when we want to describe the employee table again, it says that the employee object does not exist because it has been deleted. Finally, we will discuss how to save our current session. So we see that we have this save button here. If we click on the save button, it will save, it will bring us a dialog box. Here we can specify the name of the session. For example, we can say that we are practicing for employee table, And then we have three options on the visibility of this session. If we set it as a private, and then this is only available to us, no other person can see. And then if we select as unlisted, then anyone with the link that we can share will have the access to this one. And finally, there is a public, and this is something which everyone on the internet can access with the link or without the link by just searching the results in the code library. And this is something that goes into the code library, and not everything can go because it requires the permission, so it is carefully selected. So our best bet is to either save it as a private or unlisted. If we are working for ourselves, we can save it as a private. And when we save this session here, save this script, it says we need to save some errors. So it says that we need to describe, so we can say that this is our test practice. So after description, we can save this as a script. So our session now is actually saved as a script. So we see that we first ran the create command, and our second statement was describe employee table. So all the commands that we have run are saved as a script. So it is possible for us to actually remove some commands. For example, this command generated an error, so we don't want to retain it, so we want to delete it. So we can delete it from here. Also, we can select delete these commands. We can also say that we already have the create employee table statement, so we want to delete this. And then we can run our script again here. Just as a final note, we can check here that if we go to the schema, we see that nothing is there. But however, it is possible we can go to our scripts, for example my scripts, and then we can go to the practice employee tables section, and then we can run our script. Let's remove this drop employee table because it will drop the structure again. So we don't want to drop the table structure, we want it to be there. Now we can run our script, and it says that perform these actions which are in the script. So once our script finishes, this is the dialog box we see. So it says that there is a success, 6 statements were successfully run, and then we have 2 objects that have been created, and these are the statements that actually ran. So we can close this one, and then we go to the schema. So we see that the employee table is there. As a final check, we want to sign out of this one, and we want to sign in again. When we go to the schema, we will see that our previous employee table that was there will not be available here into the next login, because everything that we created in the previous session was destroyed. However, it is possible to go into our script that we saved, and we can go to our my script, practicing employee table script. We can go to this script and actually run this script to create our structures again. So we can just run the structure. So once we run our script, it finishes successfully, and we can now go to our schema and see that the employee table is there again. So this was the final note for the demonstration purpose. So LiveSQL is actually the very cool tool that we can use for our learning purposes. We see that employee table is here. So this is all. Thank you for watching, and please keep watching.